Coaches, athletes, fitness peeps, right now on Instagram, James FitzGerald posted something. It's a quote by Ben Bergeron, and it says, I have it written down over here, the worst mistake when you're sore is to just let time do its job. And the context surrounding this is actually kind of like a cream company that I think Ben partnered up with recently to help aid in recovery, all this other kind of stuff. So James makes a pretty powerful statement, and I don't necessarily agree with his statement. I also don't necessarily agree with Ben's partnership with, he's partnered with Crossover Symmetry, he's partnered with a couple of other people. But I'd like to take this opportunity to talk a little about what I do believe, right? What I do feel inside of my being as a coach. I think the first thing is, as coaches, I don't think that we should have any sort of self-interest in mind other than the people that we're working with, right? So if someone wants to get faster, stronger, healthier, whatever it is, our goal should be to help that person move the needle in that direction. I do believe that supplements, sleep aids, creams, any sort of like Normatec, all those different things are ultimately they're crutches, right? They're crutches for people who aren't doing the things that they need to be doing. Now, don't get me wrong, on a very high level, as an elite athlete, you're living compromised already, right? Like you're not healthy, you're not fit, right? It's more about, at the highest level in CrossFit, it's all about performance and work capacity. How much work can you do? And do you have to compromise or give up, some certain integrity in like movement efficacy or whatever else in order to move faster, further, longer, whatever else? The answer is yes, almost every single time. And so as a result, there's going to be some compromises. So in those situations, you're going to have to duct tape problems. You're going to need some KT tape. You're going to need some creams and supplements and all this other kind of stuff. But the goal is not to think about. The goal is to focus on things that are going to actually work. Your body has a lymphatic system that moves lymph throughout its body, but also it moves inflammation and swelling too. So it works as like a pump. It moves old fluid out of an area and new kind of nutrient dense fluid into an area. We want the body's natural system to work really well. We want those natural biological rhythms, right? Trying to outperform those things or mitigate those things or not pay attention to those things is that is not wise, right? I don't believe that we should be kind of pushing personal agendas. I don't believe that we as coaches, as thought leaders, as leaders in this field, I don't believe that we should have personal interest in mind. When we start to have personal interest in mind, then that starts to cloudy things a little bit. Recently, I actually got asked to be an ambassador for a supplement. I have no idea why. I'm not cool enough. I'm not eloquent enough in my words. I don't type cool things. My posts really aren't even that great. Like, they're okay, right? So I was shocked, but ultimately I declined. I said, absolutely not. And I would get a percentage of all the different sales that people would type in with my name, right? With my little code or whatever I wanted to give them. I said, no, absolutely not. I'd rather people sleep. This is what I believe in. I'd rather people sleep better. I'd rather people eat better. I'd rather people mitigate and manage their stress. I'd rather people learn just to go for walks after they have dinner at night. I'd rather people have rich conversations with their significant others. Like, those are things that I believe in, right? I believe in saving your money and not buying $300 bands to do shoulder 90-90s. You can do that by bending over. You can do that with some plates, 5-pound plates, 2.5-pound plates, 10-pound plates. If you're strong enough, cool, grab some dumbbells for 10s and 15. We can do all of these different things. We don't need $300, $400 bands. We don't need creams. We don't need supplements. We don't have to partner with Advocare or whatever else, okay? I do believe that coaches should be a little bit more altruistic. I do believe that on some level we should almost be monk-like in our approach to how we handle these kinds of things. Inevitably, money's gonna continue to come into any sport, any landscape, if there's opportunity to do so. and people will jump on that. And we have to recognize that and understand kind of like where that person sits. If someone is going to be sponsored by Advocare, aka for Rich Froning, he's going to be sponsored by Advocare. Why is he sponsored by Advocare? And I can't speak for Rich. I have no idea. Maybe he really does believe in it. I don't know. But maybe he's also just trying to put money on the table or food on the table for his family. That's something else to consider. Okay. Interesting. Check out James FitzGerald's Instagram. Look at the back and forth that's going on. Again, I'm not going to sit here and condone. I don't condone calling other coaches out and criticizing people. I'm not a big fan of that. That makes me uncomfortable. I don't like that in the political world. I don't like that in really any world. I think that oftentimes gets more hazardous. The intent, I think, is to expose people and have a conversation around it. I'd rather have a conversation. I'd rather have a conversation about the things that I'm for. Talked about sleeping. Talked about eating well, talked about managing stress, talked about healthy relationships, talked about finding ways to make moving part of your daily life. I can't sell that in an ebook. I can't make money off of eating and chewing your food, right? But as coaches, as thought leaders, as fitness monks, I suppose, I believe that should be our focus. That should be where our head is at. Focusing on the client, focusing on the people that are in front of us, finding a way to help align them with their values, what's important to them, and then slowly nudge the needle. Our goal, take our biases out. Take our self-serving biases, take those kinds of things, get them out of the way, push them over to the side, and focus on the person that's in front of us. Learn, grow, teach.